There's no question about Shubman Gill's talent.
Shubman Gill has a great time in Australia.
Is it a technical issue? Has he been found out?
T20 फॉर्मेट में जब एट विल चौके या छक्के मारने पड़ते हैं ना, वहां पर वो उनकी गेम नहीं है.
I think somewhere in his head he feels the responsibility of scoring faster, and somehow he's getting frustrated in the early overs. And once he's getting frustrated, if you see those run rates out there, you can see that at least in 3 of those cases he's been strangled. He's not being able to break through and he's getting out, and that's something that they should be thinking about. Is it a technical issue? Has he been found out? Because what happens with a lot of players is what I literally call the sophomore curse. Last year he was a sensation, he was a guy coming out. This year he'll be targeted. They'll be looking at him, they would have done the analysis. They say, you know what, Shubman Gill likes this, he doesn't like this. So this is where the big boys play. Year one, you're a kid, you're there, you slip under the system, under the radar. Now the big boys are there, and I think he has the class to do it.
अभी क्या हो रहा है कि वो बहुत हार्ड हैंड से खेल रहे हैं, जिसमें क्या है उनकी ना टाइमिंग हो रही है ना उनको रन मिल रहे हैं. तो ये ऐसे प्लेयर हैं जो शायद सिर्फ टाइम वाले प्लेयर है कि भाई टाइम के अंदर गैप में जाए. कभी कभी नहीं जाती ना तो फिर वो अपने ऊपर प्रेशर बिल्ड कर लेते हैं. तो मुझे ऐसा लगता है कि वो लॉन्ग फॉर्मेट के बहुत बढ़िया खिलाड़ी है, बट T20 फॉर्मेट में जब एट विल चौके या छक्के मारने पड़ते हैं ना, वहां पर वो उनकी गेम नहीं है. तो वो वहां पर फंस जाते हैं कि जब वो मारने जाते हैं तो आउट हो जाते हैं.
I think it is. It's expectation is a form of judgment, and the expectation that people put on you, as well as the expectation you put on yourself, can have adverse effects at times. And when you go away and you have some success, you all of a sudden come back with a different mindset. Like maybe you're supposed to dominate, or maybe you're supposed to play at a different level. And those are always dangerous things. You need to try and just play the moment, try and stay in the moment and focus on the job at hand. And maybe there's a case in point. Cricbuzz goes away from Australia thinking, oops, that wasn't great. I have to reboot the system here. I have to come back a stronger individual. And he maybe reassesses how he wants to play. Shubman Gill has a great time in Australia, but then comes back and thinks, okay, now I've set the standard. This is what I need to live up to. And I think those are the shackles that management, coaching staff, people who are mentors of individuals need to try and help the players deal with. Because you want as little baggage on your shoulders as you can possibly have, particularly in this T20 format. You just want to go out there, watch the ball and try and middle it as best you can. And when you're starting to think about what you should or shouldn't be doing, whether you should or shouldn't be dominating bowlers, if you shouldn't be hitting the ball over the top or you should be, or what scores you should be getting, all those things just can weigh you down.
In the game, you generally fail more than you succeed. It's just what it is. There's no question about Shubman Gill's talent. There's no question about the fact that he can bat. He can bat. And man, I absolutely love watching him. And yes, he is an absolute class act. That is true. And he will come good at some point. I think situations, that's the game. The game of cricket is a situational one. Can you, when the situation demands, choose to do the correct thing? And sometimes, even if you choose to do the correct thing, you might not execute it right. Things must align. So we might sit from the outside and look and think, oh, gee, he's not going so well, must be in a bad space mentally. Maybe from the results he might, but in terms of what he's trying to do, how he's trying to do it, he might be on the mark and it just might not be coming off.